Okay, so hey, welcome to the shop. We're working on a boat. Hey, I know it's been a while since we've gotten a video out, but it has just been crazy busy around here. Lots of boats to work on, so we're doing the best we can. Anyway, it is October this month, and October is one of my favorite times of the year. It's Fire Prevention Month, so I really wanted to get a video out with a fire suppression or fire prevention theme. So as it so happens, a few weeks ago we picked up a job to make some modifications to an existing fixed fire suppression system. And I thought it was kind of an interesting thing, so I figured, well, I'll bring you with me and to the boat, and we'll work on it, and you can see what's going on. But everybody that works on a boat knows when you're working in an engine space and it's cramped, the lighting stinks, it's hot. So anyway, I almost didn't put the video out because I thought that it wasn't quite good enough. But I think that the subject material far exceeds my amateur video production abilities. So we're going to go ahead and put it out anyway. So apologies for the blurry, for the bad lighting, for the poor production, but we are working on a boat, and priority one is work on the boat and get the job done. Priority two is the video. So apologies for the bad autofocus and the bad lighting and the noise, but anyway, we'll do better next time, I promise. And anyway, stick around. I hope you enjoy it. Okay, so here we are live on scene. What we're doing today is we're going to be working on this fixed fire suppression system over here. The system was certified here just recently, and a few items came up that needed to be addressed. 4 items to be exact. First one was one of the engines wasn't shutting down when the system was tested, so we dealt with that. Pretty boring fix there. The other one was the upper helm did not have an indicator or an alarm to indicate the status of the fire system, whether it was armed or not. So we put a panel up there. The other two were the ones that were interesting, and I thought I'd share it here with you. Because this is something that is very important but not often talked about, and we see this sort of situation quite often. 2 things with this installation. One is if there is a fire, the bottle may not discharge soon enough, and we'll talk about that. The other item is that the bottle might discharge if there is not a fire. So we'll talk about that too. So we need to relocate this bottle. So let me explain. Okay, so one of the first things we have to do with this bottle is we have to change the way it's mounted. Right now it's mounted, it's here, it's secured well, it's connected to the engine shutdown system like it should be. But the issue with it is how the bottle is mounted. It's horizontal, and the discharge of the bottle is mounted very low. Now, the way these bottles discharge automatically is that right around the head of the bottle, where the nozzle is, we have to reach a certain temperature. And in the case of this one, it's about 175 degrees Fahrenheit. What that means is that right at the level of where the nozzle of the bottle is located, we have to reach 175 degrees Fahrenheit before the bottle will discharge automatically. So if you can imagine, up here we could have several hundreds of degrees. It could be 500, 600, 700 degrees if there's a fire in here up the top. But down here we're still relatively cool. We haven't reached the temperature point where the bottle will fire automatically. So we've got to get the head of that bottle up higher to where the heat is going to be, so that if we do have a fire, the bottle will discharge early before the fire state can increase too much. So we've got to get that head up, and I think the requirement is no more than 20 inches from the overhead to the nozzle of the bottle. So we're going to do that. Okay, so the second thing we need to do why we need to move this bottle away is that where the bottle is located and what it's located next to could cause the bottle to discharge if there's not a fire. We could make enough heat right there to cause the bottle to discharge without an actual fire being here. And I'm going to excuse the shaky camera, but I'm hand holding this so I can take you over there and show you what I mean. And over here, if you look, here's our nozzle right here. And what needs to happen for this to fire automatically is right here, we need to hit 175 degrees Fahrenheit, and this bottle will discharge, put out the fire, shut the engines down, and so forth. But what it's, let's see if I can get over here, what it is sitting right beside, right here, that's the alternator. Now, I think everybody knows that when alternators are working hard, they generate a tremendous amount of heat. So it's very possible that right here we could exceed 175 degrees and discharge our bottle. So we need to get the head of this bottle away from that alternator. And especially if you have one of those boats that has the high output alternators on it with the temperature sensing built into it, yeah, you can see when these alternators are working hard, they are getting extremely hot. So we got to get that away from that alternator too. So let's get back out of the hole. So the fix is not going to be all that exciting. We're just going to build a bracket to get this bottle up vertically and mount it securely, and just relocate the bottle. So once we're done, we'll bring you back and show you what we did here. But anyway, stick around. All right, so we're back, and this is what we have done. We have made a nice, strong aluminum bracket here to support our fire bottle. Now, the purpose for removing the bottle was, number one, to get the head of the bottle, where the automatic discharge device is located, to get that up, get it up higher to where the heat is going to be. If there's a fire in this space, it's going to be hot here a lot sooner than it's going to be hot here. So we want this bottle to discharge early in the early stages of the fire, put out a small fire, we hope. So get the nozzle up high where the heat is. The other thing we've done by standing it up vertically is we got it away from the alternator. Alternators get hot, they make heat. It is possible for the alternator to generate enough heat to accidentally discharge this bottle. So this device is activated by high heat, so let's get this device away from things that are normally hot, say the turbo. We don't want this near the turbocharger. We don't want this mounted near the exhaust elbow. We don't want it mounted near our dry stack exhaust. We don't want it mounted near the alternator. Anything that normally produces heat, let's get this away from it. So this is what we did here. We put it in this bracket, and that accomplishes those two things. Our nozzle is higher now. Originally it was about 30 inches below the overhead. Now it's about 10. So this is good. This is a good solution. Okay, so why make such a fuss about the positioning of a fire bottle or where it's located? Well, to my mind, this is a piece of safety equipment. This is right up there with your seatbelt, your airbag, your reserve parachute. These things are sitting back in the background quietly waiting, and we put our confidence in them that they are going to function when we truly need them. So, if this, you did call on this to put out a fire on your boat, there's two ways it could go. One, it puts the fire out and it saves the day, and you're telling your friends at the clubhouse of your story. Or it doesn't go off as intended, and you have a very different story to tell. So, this is, to me, it's a very important thing. And one of the other reasons I want to talk about this is there's really nobody else talking about it. If you can go on YouTube and look and see discussions about this, and there's a little bit of information out there, but there's not a lot to discuss how to install one of these, and there's not a lot in my world, even there's not a lot of information on how to install one of these. So a lot of people are not really informed on how these things function and how they need to be installed. So I would like to change that very much. But anyway, that is our show. So I hope you got something out of this, and I would suggest if you have a fixed fire suppression system on your boat, that you find someone who is very familiar with marine systems, and ask them to inspect and certify your system, because when you need this to work. Can't stress that enough. When this is needed, we need it. So get yours checked out, and keep working on your boat. Hey guys, I need your opinion on something. I'm editing the next video, and I need your opinion. Is this shot out of focus?
It's not out of focus. You're just always blurry.
Oh. Thanks.
You're welcome.